yes. So, yes, I went to bed a little later than I normally would have. But, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
How was your week back from vacation? You jumped
Yeah.
right into it?
Yeah, right into it. It was
Yes,
quite the
yes.
first day. It was deliberate, for me to just make, quiet, very quiet the first day. But then, the pressures of the work, is
The
always
pressures of the
there.
work came
So
right through, and then you
yeah,
had to jump in. Yes,
yeah, to
that's what
jump in.
happens.
Yeah, man.
That's
Where
what
is
happens.
cool?
But good week, right? Good week
Yeah,
apart from that.
yeah,
Yes,
good
hustle
week.
and everything else. But
Yeah, good week.
hey, we're here, so
Nice
that's a good
weather as
thing.
well. Nice weather. It's the kind of weather that like foretells like rain. So we'll get some rain sometime today.
Ah,
I'm not any weather man or anything like that, but I just have a feeling whether not a lot of rain, but we'll get a little rain today.
you get a little thing.
Yes, yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
something. I
yes,
have
yes,
that
yes. So
feeling.
like, I cannot say the same for here so far. Although I wouldn't say it's overcast. It's just like one of them times where it's just nice. That's the
Mhm.
best way to describe it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nice little cool breeze blowing through.
Yeah.
Sun is still out. It's not very hot,
Mhm.
so, which is good, which is nice. So for those who can be on the outside, you give them a little chance to,
Mhm.
feel a nice early morning breeze.
Yeah. Yeah. Nigeria on
Yes.
there?
Well,
Let me
I
see.
am
Let me
not
see.
seeing you. That's one.
Yes, sir, Papa.
And two,
Yes.
I am not seeing us. Let's see. Yes, we are on live now, but I am not seeing you.
We on live now?
But it's okay. Yeah, I seen you on the book.
You see me on
But
the
I'm
book.
not seeing you on our little link that we normally have,
Oh,
our
okay. All
little
right.
Zoom thing. I'm not seeing you
Okay.
there, but I seen you on the thing looking all nice if you're black and gold.
Well,
Red, green, black and
yeah, I
gold.
dress like a
Remember that song?
sunflower today. Not feeling
Huh? Remember that
sunflowerish.
song?
Yeah, man, rally wrong the red, of course. Red, gold, black,
Rally
and
Run
green.
Right.
These are my colors,
Okay. That
obviously.
which band was doing that? Question time. Which band?
Rally wrong the red. Come on, Nigel. Marcus say, ready for the blood that flows. Which band, Nigel?
I mean,
I
it
wonder
has
if
to
you
be
know which
still.
band.
Well, of course, still. I mean, you
Oh,
can't
all
forget the
right.
steel pulse
Amen.
behind us.
Amen. Yeah, those were the days,
Yeah,
yeah.
those were the days, man.
Listen
Steel
to
Pulse had
Silver.
some great songs.
Man, tell you. They still have some great songs. So they are
Yes,
still
yes,
there.
they,
That's timeless.
they brought a different kind of vibes to the
I
reggae.
tell you. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Nigel.
yes. Those were the times when Tuesday night reggae night with Ivona John Baptist was making things happen on DBS, the reggae queen.
Those were the days when I used to drum. Yeah, I really used to do this, on a Tuesday night, and then BA came on to do it.
And
But
then
then
BABA came on,
there's
yes.
something about me and
BABA came
reggae,
on after that.
obviously. Whenever I'm on
Oh,
air, I
yeah.
have to play a track, a reggae track. I,
You
I
have
just
to
have
play a
to.
reggae thing.
It speaks to me in a
Yes.
language I can understand. So
That
yeah,
is so
sets
true.
me in
That
the
is so true. That is so true.
sets my mood,
You
good
know?
mood. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
reggae continues to make it big. That's all good.
Nigel Mwefe,
You- well, nobody bring anything for you this morning.
I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. That's another hyperbole, Nigel. What is happening there? This
I wonder when people say that, okay, I'm so hungry I
I
could eat
could
a
eat a
horse.
horse.
You bring it for there's no way they can do that.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about being so hungry is that when you're so hungry and you finally get to eat, you can't really eat, because like, I don't know, man, the gas, what did they say? The gas pull you up.
Yeah, the gas will be up, but yeah, yeah. So that is another hyperbole. Give me one Nigel a hyperbole, like
The gas pull you up.
an exaggeration.
So, if
Like
I can come
it
with
co-
another one.
it costs an arm and another leg. That's one, right? I
Yes,
think
yes,
so.
yes, yes. It
Mm.
costs an arm and leg to buy this. What's another one? What's another one we
You
can
remember
come up
that
with?
book, Romeo and
No.
Juliet at school, and that I think it was William Shakespeare who said that the brightness of her cheek would shame those stars, something like that. That's where when I learned
Brightness of a
about
ship is
hyperbole would shame those stars, yes,
pale compared
or something like that.
to the
Yeah,
stars of
I can remember the
yes,
teacher
yes,
saying that's a
yes.
hyperbole, and I did not know then what it meant, obviously. But
Until later, they were
yeah,
using
yeah,
these
until
big
later.
words for you.
Yeah, so I love you to the moon and back.
Until you started using it yourself.
Yes, I love you to the moon and back. That's a hyperbole.
Oh, that is one that has
Give me an
always
example in Creole.
Emoji Creole example in
But we
Creole.
gave a few, so I mean, just translate that in Creole in Nigeria.
Oh, my email called Kosho email something like that.
All right, we'll take that. Nigel, anyone on the book and on the tube?
Let's see. Because as I say, I have to know because I have to look on the book because I can't see you on the Zoom. So, let's see who's on the book. Yes, Okay, so good morning. Edwina is always there as always, saying good morning to Ivona and myself. Locked in from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Eddie John Baptist, of course, brother is
Yeah, my
right here
brother.
saying
Yeah.
ISIS.
Yeah.
And he
Hey.
says morning, my people. Let's see. I have to go to the tube, to tube people. There's always tell me what is that going on. Oh, somebody give us one here. Yeah, let's. What by the way, what is hyperbole in Creole?
I don't
How do you
know.
say that? Is that a Creole word for it? No.
As I said, it's like an exaggeration when you're exaggerating something. So
I want
I
the
don't know the
Creole word.
certain
That
Creole. Eh?
will give me English
Come
back.
Norin and Kewana. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us what is
Because
hyperbole in
somebody
Creole.
say one is that no. Because I'm in Collie. Befla Pali
Kisa?
Milang Lu.
Eh
Okay.
eh. All right.
Milang Lu.
Milang Lilu. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oui. Befla Pali Milang
Milang
Lu.
Lilu.
Okay.
Nigel, Din
All
is
right.
around we. I
All
vex
right.
you,
That's
Din.
okay, but
I vex you,
what that
Din. Nigel.
is
Anyway,
that?
I was just saying Din is around. He said hi.
Oh, hey. My partner, Jean, I cannot see. I cannot see Ivone on the Zoom.
You know, see me on the Zoom. Wow.
No, I have to be going
Yeah.
from face to face, switching my
Yeah.
head, turning my head,
Yeah.
so I
Come
can
on.
see her
Who
on
does
on
that?
the book, but I cannot see her on the Zoom. Okay,
Okay.
then.
All right. So
All
you said
right. So
something
you
about
shouldn't
Lang
tell me. You
Lalu.
shouldn't tell me good morning. No, I give you work to do.
Let's go back to our discussion, Tan. You tell me something about Lang Lalu. What you saying again?
Idi befla pali me
Lang
lang li.
Lang Lilu. Okay.
Yes,
Lang Lu.
yes. Befla pali me lang li lu.
Okay. Okay.
All
Nigel,
right.
by the
Okay.
way, I'm not sure, Nigel, if you're following what is happening in Guyana, the
In
news in
Guyana,
Guyana.
yes,
You have been following, right?
yes. It's
Um,
not very common that you hear of
yeah.
this racial conflicts in the Caribbean context, right? Um, Most times you will probably find it other places outside of the Caribbean, but to have it here, I mean, one race might be feeling another race has more privilege than them, and the police is not guarding them and giving them the same kind of security that they would. So that's an interesting turn of events.
Okay. So I was referring, but were you have you also been following about the one with the 11-year-old girl?
Yes, this 11-year-old girl
Okay,
who
you're
got
talking about.
murdered or whatever, and the talk around now from what's
Okay, all
happening,
right.
it feels like as if because she was from a particular
Yeah,
race,
okay, all right.
they were not
So
given the kind of
yeah, so
security
you
that
see
they're
how many
supposed
arms
to get.
this has. I mean, it's really sad, Nigel, when you consider you're
It
11 year
is.
old. You know, you went to the pool with her, and she's missing, and
Yeah, man.
then
It reminded me
discovered.
of our situation back home when we had this missing girl, Kenisha, or something
Yeah,
like that, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And next they discovered, you know, in the hotel swimming pool.
I mean that tells you something is not right somewhere.
So many things are not right. Yeah,
Something is not right
yeah.
somewhere, and our Caribbean peoples, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going
It's
on,
really
but
sad. And
we
and
have
and
to
what
get
struck
back to
me,
the right
Nigel,
stuff.
what struck me
Mm,
as well is that the father told the media he had a gut feeling, you know, that his child was being held in the hotel. So he never left the scene. He stayed there. And you know that thing about gut feeling, when you know, Nigel,
yes,
when you
yes,
when you just feel something and you know it's like know it to be right, to be correct.
yes, yes. And
Yeah.
usually that gut feeling is the correct one.
Oh yes, oh
You
yes,
know,
oh yes.
they always tell you go if your gut feeling.
You're right. That's it. That's it. Your gut
Yes,
feeling
yes,
speaks a
yes.
lot to you, you know, and tells you the truth,
Yeah,
you know, many times. And
yeah.
it's really
It tells
sad.
you something not right. It's sad, man.
It's
It's
really
sad.
sad what is happening
Age
in
of this
Guyana.
girl.
Yeah, man, Nigel, and then the protesters eventually set fire to the hotel, Nigel, and
That
then the
was the
home of the
that was
hotel
the other
owners
part of
as well.
that was the other part of it.
Yeah.
That's when you take the protest to a next level. But that was the other. I mean, so many events have happened as a result of that.
Yeah.
That one situation, that one incident. And I mean, you still haven't had closure because obviously they still haven't just found out, what might have been the cause and
Yeah. Yeah.
who
It's
is
true.
responsible and all that good stuff.
Man.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But Nigel is who it is, man. It's who it is. And
So it
also,
is of
Nigel, you
that.
know, a similar incident occurred at that same hotel, the same premises. I think it was Years ago, maybe 12, 15 years ago. So it's really
That's
sad.
oh,
Yeah.
that's okay, okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
think a
okay,
20-year-old
okay. So
man was
that's the
beaten to
connection right
death,
there.
you know, in that same place. So,
Yes,
so
yes,
that
yes.
makes it
That's the
even more
connection
sad.
right there.
Yeah. Ça, c'est la
So
vie.
it really means that there's something. Well, I guess the hotel is no more in a sense. Um, but we certainly hope closure can be brought to it,
Yeah.
and I mean, especially for the family, man.
Anyway, let's go to the Dominica corner and then bring on our guest there. Our guest
Yes. Oh, Dean, by
is
the way, I seen on the link.
I'm not
One
talking
thing,
to Dean, not even call Dean name for me.
one thing, Dean does do a good job.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Give him that. He is good. I mean,
Yes. You just have to
seriously.
tell him again over and
No,
over, but
he's
you just
good.
do it after that.
Yeah, he's good. He will ensure that when he's there, he will stay around to help you. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
Nigel, the Dominica corner now. What do I ask?
Your tune?
Yes. My turn, man. Okay, Nigel, what community in Dominica is Marie Claire Giraud from? So Marie
You
Claire
ask me a
West.
question like that. Yeah.
Come
What
on. I mean,
community?
she was born in Dominica, raised in New York, I think. But what community?
That's the
Before
new
she
town
left.
site, man. But I think it's New Town or Goodwill, one of them places there, you know. But she will let me know if I'm correct.
I'll take the new town because Harlem.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, Harlem.
So
yes,
you're correct.
yes.
I'll give
All
you.
right. One for me so far.
Yes.
Yes.
Marie Claire is down to perform in Dominica soon. At what event?
She's gonna be at the Jazz and Creole down where is the place down at the Cabrits.
Okay.
Yes, May 4 for something around there. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay, you're getting there. What year did she win the Best of America Jazz Award? Do I know the answer to this?
That one, let me tell
the
you.
answer to this? Hey, didn't set me up there nicely. Eh? Wow.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me didn't answer the question.
Nah, man, didn't set me up nicely. I'm telling you. Kudos to them. I answered the question you answered.
I know it's in 20. Was it 2022 or 21? That one I'm not sure.
I'm not sure myself, Nigel. Was it last year?
But
Was
she
it
will let
last
us know.
year?
But I think it's 21 or 22. But we'll find out.
Okay, let's bring her on, Nigel. Let's bring her on, so we're gonna find out. Okay, let's bring
Yes,
in Marie Claire.
yes. Good morning to you,
I love her
Sandra
colors.
Norris.
And we'll.
She
Yeah.
says she just wake up, but she's here for
Okay.
Saturday.
By the way,
Saturday.
Nigel, your brother said that I'm trying to get a message. He knows Marie Claire well. Yeah, so maybe they go way back. I'm not sure if she remembers him, but of course, your brother is Reginald Winston, and he was saying that she may remember him from. Where, boy, Nigel? I'm trying to get the message. I'm trying to get the message. So many messages come after this. She may remember him from Nigel. Tell me now where your brother was working before. Boy,
He worked at the statistics.
Okay, Reginald. Okay, she may only remember me as the former registrar of the Supreme Court.
He was a registrar.
Yes. So yeah. All right. So let's bring her on, Nigel, a versatile singer from Dominica, and she has really played.
She worked with him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely so.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I was getting a message he had sent me as well. But yes, let's bring her on.
Yeah, man, she has played a major role in bringing recognition to Dominica. Sometimes we don't look at these things, enough, but she has done so much for this country, this small island developing state. When you consider a young girl from Dominica, making, Nigel, waves in the States and other places, Nigel, that is really big. And she has the ability to hit high notes with ease. You think she'll sing something for us? Or I don't know if Dean will have to stand next to the glass to ensure that doesn't break. But yeah, man, Nigel. She does this effortlessly. So let's bring her on, Nigel. What do you have to say as you welcome her? Bring her on.
Well, I mean, we've mentioned how talented she is, but more importantly, how she continues to represent Dominica in what she does in a genre that's not typically, known, in a sense that it's one of those that you have to, once you get into it, you feel a love for it. And she's been able to maintain that and continue to represent us at the highest level. So good morning to you, Marie Claire Giraud. It's a pleasure to have you here with us this morning. and to hear your journey, hear your story, and connect with us. It feels so nice to know I'm connecting with someone like you again. So, good morning.
And Maricla is lovely, really a natural beauty.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Really
morning.
lovely.
Thank you. Thank you
morning.
to you both for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's our pleasure to have you. We had to have Maricla along, back in the day. We had made arrangements and that did not work, but I'm so happy that we have you on now. It's,
Yes.
It's really
Yes.
something. Nigel, this morning I woke up early to just like read a lot to follow up what she has been doing. And I read a documentary, Nigel, which encapsulates the ethos of Maricla quite remarkably. But I was smiling, Nigel, when I read what I think it's John Harbison, what he had to say, Pulitzer Prize winning composer, and he said, I think I wrote it something, what he said. Maricla is a very versatile and magnetic singer of a genuine lyrical spinto soprano voice whose repertoire moves from opera to concert music and beyond. Wow, but she'll tell us more about this, Nigel. It really is a pleasure to bring her on. So Maricla,
Morning.
lovely smile. Good
you.
morning. You're going to
Good
feel
morning.
comfortable. We're going to talk a lot, and Nigel will tell you again what you will have to do for us as well as the program goes on.
I'm here.
Okay, you're here. That's it, Nigel.
I like the way she says that. I'm here. So, whatever you guys want to hear, here with you for the next hour plus, and you can go ahead and ask anything you want.
Yeah.
And, your request will be honored.
Yes.
And Maricla, we go way back as well. We like to find out. So we want to find out, how you were raised and where you were born and things like that.
Of course.
And then we go through your journey.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, Nigel. So how do we begin, Nigel?
Yes,
Let's
yes,
go.
yes. As always, we like to connect with everybody, and we
Yeah.
like the people to connect to
Sure,
the story that
definitely.
we share. So it's wonderful to have you share your story with us this morning.
It's
So
wonderful
for those
to
who
be
don't
here.
know, what part of Dominica are you from?
Roseau. I was
Right.
born in Princess Margaret Hospital, raised on Virgin Lane. Well, until my mom moved my brother and I to New York. I went to a convent for a few years, and I'm from Dominica. All my family's from Dominica. Dominica to the bone.
Jamaica to the bone. I like this.
Yeah, I love that. You've never forgotten that part of it.
Never.
So grew
never.
up in Roseau.
Yes.
And,
Virgin Lane.
what was it like growing up in Virgin Lane, Roseau? What was it like?
There was a lovely lady that had a shop right across the street from my parents' house, and her name was Phyllis. And it's not that my mom didn't have bread and jelly in the kitchen, but there was something about Phyllis's bread and jelly that was that I had to have it at her shop. So I would run across the street. I was like young, 3-4 years old, and the Virgin Lane traffic can be quite hectic at times. And I would say, Phyllis, I come from my bread and jelly. And she would say, yes, darling, come and get it. And she would put me up on the stool, and I would have my bread with my guava jelly. And my mother would be so mad because she knew the traffic that was coming back and forth on that road. And she would sometimes put me in no clothes, just my Pampers on, just so that I would not cross the road. But that did not deter me. I still crossed the road.
Whoa. Phyllis. Wow.
Phyllis,
Ma
yes.
Phyllis. That would be-
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
interesting.
That was a special bread.
That was a special bread and a special jelly.
Yes. So I mean, in terms of so did you go to preschool as well before
Convent,
you?
yes.
And if you did, which preschool did you go to? If
I
you
went
remember
to,
that.
I went to convent. My mother enrolled me in convent. My mom and my dad were married. Julian Giraud, who died a few years ago, and my mom, Joyce Buffon Giraud. That's where I went to school.
What age you started convent?
My mom said, I think 3.
Okay.
I think I went there for a year before we immigrated to the United States, to the Bronx, where my grandmother was.
So you remember anything about your preschool days? Was that
I remember,
anything you remember?
I remember that my mom would dress me very early, and I was always pristine. But the kind of wreck I returned home was the tie around my neck and the shirt unbuttoned and dirty, and I was the kind of child I just got into everything.
Wow.
Yes.
Nigel, by the way, let me just say thank you to Ayola George. And Ayola is doing a lot, and probably she's not recognized enough.
She is.
She's not. Yeah. She's
Ayola, right now in my career, Ayola is my publicist, and as well as
No.
my agent.
Look, Ayola just stepped in.
What?
Ayola. What? I did not see you. I was doing. Wow. So
It's
okay, so you're talking about
only just
Ayola.
being stepping in and you got to, and you
Yes,
just
and
got
I'm
and
seeing
she just walks
Ayola.
in
I
and
did
she
not.
just
you
Yes,
got an
seriously.
additional guest.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Ayola is here.
Iola and I have been working for such a long time, and here as well as in Jamaica, and she has always stayed true to me and always supported me and had my back. And she's a very wonderful, caring person and professional and knows what she's talking about.
I
So
was
any
just
artist would
yeah.
be, it would be in their best interest to have someone like
Yeah.
Iola
And
behind
Ayola
them.
has a way of words. It can make a dull artist, seem
Yes,
so grand.
yes, yes,
Because just the way that she puts, the words together to tell you about an artist, or
yes,
about anything she's writing. So,
absolutely.
wow. All right. So Nigel, let's go. Let's go back. So you went to preschool
Yes.
at the
Yes.
convent prep.
Yes, at convent, and my grandfather Giraud, he and my grandmother Ina, they owned Eric's Bakery, and there was an incident where I had like a growth like on my inner hand, and as a child, I never liked to wear clothes. It hasn't changed. I like to be tutuni whenever I can.
I like that word. I like that word. To me.
And my grandfather just picked me up. I was in my Pampers again and a little white vest, and took me to the doctor. And he was in his white vest and jeans, so I guess I got it from him. And took me to get my little hand taken care of. So I have very fond memories of Dominica. I love Dominica. My mom raised my brother and I as a single parent in New York City, which isn't easy, with no support from my dad, and because you don't leave the man leaves you, and when a woman leaves a man, there are repercussions. So the repercussions were that my mother basically supported us on her own with the help of my grandmother, which was not easy, but she did an amazing job, and my mother is one of my biggest supporters, and I love her to the max. And one of my things is that once I make it really big and start making some real money, all I want to do is take care of my mom and shop at Chanel.
Wow. I'm sure what?
Iola knows this. Yes.
This is interesting. So you left Dominica at 4, you say, right?
4 years old.
By the way,
yes.
can you remember the uniform when you went to preschool?
Blue skirt,
Okay.
white
Yes.
shirt, blue tie with an emblem on the pocket.
Okay, so basically the same. I
Yes,
guess.
basically
Was
the
it
same
a
uniform.
pleated skirt?
Pleated skirt. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Nigel?
Yes.
No, I was just gonna say I can imagine. I mean, just Marek there running around, little girl running around through convents,
Yes.
and the incident that she mentioned there about being, taken up to take her to the doctor to take care of her. So from, of course, so that was basically the foundation, if you want, in Dominica, because from there you migrated to the U.S. and
Oh, and
a
there's
little
another
girl.
story. There's another story. So my mom and I would always go walking in the afternoon by the station, and we were walking up Constitution Hill, and they're no longer alive, but they were the Nicholas sisters that lived next to the
St. Martin's Calder?
yeah, that
around
lived
that-
next door to the Leighton house.
Oh, the later house. Okay,
Yes.
so the-
And so I'm walking with my mom, and the sisters are outside, and I just said, "Can I see your house?" And my mom is like, "What is this child doing?" and my mom was like, they're gonna but think that I told you that I want to go see inside your house, and which wasn't the case. I was just a very outgoing little girl, and they said, "Sure, Mary Claire, come inside." And the lady said, "Miss Giraud, Mrs. Giraud, you can come too." They were like, "No, let her go. You can take her." And my mom waited outside while the Nicholases gave me a tour of their home.
Interesting, eh? What you can
Nice,
remember.
nice.
So she was like kind of
It seems like
inquisitive,
from-
Yes.
and she used to like to be tutuni.
Yeah.
So Nigel, you see how we're learning as we progress.
Yes. The troublesome girl running around Tutini, and hasn't changed today. She
It
still
hasn't
runs
changed.
around
You're
Tutini.
still
So
running
we got-
around.
We got that story. We got that part of the journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, of course, then you migrated to the US. Do you recall, if at all, like when you were told, "Hey, we're leaving Dominica"? I mean, you were pretty young, but do you remember? Was it something that you were told long in advance, or you just woke up one morning and realized, "Hey, we're moving"?
It wasn't told. I just realized that we were I was already traveling to see my grandmother, because my grandmother and my grandfather were already established in the Bronx. So my mother we were already traveling to the Bronx, so it wasn't anything new for me to get on a plane. But it was just a longer stay this time. This time, New York would be my home.
Okay.
Mm. So when you got there, if you remember, obviously, I mean, you were there with the grandparents, so it wasn't anything strange,
Right.
for you.
Right.
But were you immediately like enrolled in school, or did you have to stay home for a while first, or was it, what is that kind of
Immediately
it?
enrolled in Catholic school, parochial school, um, and it was very strange because New York is an amazing city. I love this city. It doesn't get old for me. You can do anything. One thing about the United States, especially about New York City, if you want to pursue something, if you want to be something, if you're willing to put in the work, you can be anything you want to be. Literally, you can be anything you want to be in this country and in this city. And my mom enrolled me in Blessed Sacrament School. Then it wasn't far from our home where we lived, and I took the bus to go to school. And I was thinking that, we're all black in America. I'm black, you're black. And I have very curly hair, and my mom would put Shirley Temple curled my hair as a little girl. And the black American girls, one particular girl, Donna Scott, could not understand how my hair curled.
Wow.
Because she had 3 plaits. 3. One here, one there, and
nappy.
one there. And the gale force winds of Hurricane Maria could not move those plaits. And this girl could not understand how my hair curled, to the point where she cut one of my curls off, and my mother had to come to school and deal with the situation with this other young girl.
She cut it. She took a scissors.
She took a scissors and she cut one of the curls right off.
Wow.
Yeah.
She just couldn't believe that your hair could be curved.
Right. Couldn't believe it. Yeah.
For example, it wasn't real.
It wasn't real.
Yeah.
Right.
So she had her nappy hair with 3 big plaits.
Yeah, not big. These little stringly little things that.
Wow. Oh wow! I like Marie Claire. She I don't know. She just in terms of details, she remembers a lot of things, Nigel, that a lot of people normally would not remember. So I just just going to the house of the Nicholas, that family,
Yes.
and
yes.
then remembering the girl. Well, that would be forever etched in your memory somewhat.
Yes.
But I like where we are going, Nigel. I really
Yes.
like where. But so do you remember though the plane ride when you were what 4 years, right? When
I
you
was
were
4
going?
years. No, I don't remember the plane
Okay,
ride.
all
I
right.
just remember being in New York,
Okay.
and the Bronx was not anything that was new because as I said, I was already traveling back
Okay.
and forth with my mother to visit my grandparents
Okay.
that were already there.
I just realized you have so much attention to details. I thought that you would have just remembered that, plane
No,
ride,
that's something
on
that
the plane ride.
that I don't remember.
Okay.
But traveling was a great experience, and it's something that since I was doing it very early, it wasn't anything that was extravagant or special. It's something that we did.
Yeah, you were used to that.
Yeah, I was used to it.
It's nothing
Yes.
big. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
I don't know why. I think that you and Donnie became good friends. I don't know why I think that.
Me and who?
The little girl who cut your.
Oh my
your
goodness!
curl.
Yeah, that girl was. Oof, Lord have mercy. It was a
Did
problem.
you all become good friends?
No, we did not.
Oh, Nigel was saying that's what he thought, that
No,
you all
no, no,
became
no,
good
no.
friends.
No, we did not become good friends at all. Quite the opposite. Yeah, she was my nemesis.
So it was at the front. She cut it at the front or at the back of your hair? On the side?
She caught one at the back. I was trying to get away from her, and she caught one at the back.
Eh,
And
eh.
yeah, and my hair was quite long as a girl, and my mother would curl it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So that was at that school. Were you? Do you remember any like activities that went on at that particular school? Was there like, was there sports, or was it more the arts? Or
There was sports, and one thing, I got into music very early. My mother says that while in Dominica, I sang before I spoke. And my mom was a huge Tom Jones fan, and the song that I would sing, that she would play in the house, was What's New Pussycat. So that's the song that I would sing. Even before I formed words, I was singing in the house. So singing has always
that
been a
song?
part of me.
What's New Pussycat?
What's
Tom
New
Jones.
Pussycats?
That's
Tom
really
Jones.
an oldie goldie.
Yes, yes.
You remember?
Yes,
You remember
yes.
it? You remember?
Yes.
you
any-
remember any lines in that?
Yes.
too?
Nigel, tell me to ask you to
What's
sing.
new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pussycat, pussycat, I love you. Yes, I do.
Yeah, Tom
That was an
Jones.
old Tom J.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
That's a
yes,
big song for many people back in the day.
yes. My mom was a
Oh yeah,
huge Tom
oh yeah.
Jones fan.
So you still listen to, apart from Tom Jones, who again your mom would listen to, and you would just.
Tom Jones. Oh, Johnny Mathis. My mom was a huge Johnny
Mm.
Mathis fan. She and my aunt actually they have a running battle that they had a Christmas album, a Johnny Mathis Christmas album that my mom says that she bought, but that my aunt stole. So it's like a running of whose Johnny Mathis album actually is it? So I grew up with Tom Jones, Johnny Mathis, of course, The Mighty Sparrow, which was a huge fan of my dad's and a friend of my dad's. I met him through my dad while in Dominica. Bob Marley, huge influence. Frank Sinatra, my dad loved Frank Sinatra. Yes.
Nigel, we're going
Nice,
somewhere.
nice.
You see,
You
Nigel, you
finding
see
out
that
lots of
se-
stuff.
that
By the
that
way,
that that
DJ,
link when you.
yes, this is a DJ Jokam. Oh, Jokam was there. Jokam says hi.
Hi.
Of course, Jokam, Johnny Karam.
Yes.
Yes, and lots of other people are saying hi as well. So good morning to
Hi,
all of you saying
everyone.
hi to Marie Claire. Appreciate
Hello.
it.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes. So you discovered music from very early.
Very
So at
early.
that school that you were, that's what I'm going to say for now, the elementary school that you were in.
Yes.
Was there like a singing group, a
A
choir,
choir, a
band?
choir. It was a Catholic school, so Catholic schools they always have choirs. I was just put into the choir, and all my girlfriends we all sang, and so I thought it was nothing special to sing, because it came so easily to me, and I enjoyed it so much. Me and my friends, we always sang. We had a little doo-wop a cappella group in school as girls, and so I thought everybody could sing until I realized no, everybody cannot sing.
Not everyone can hold the notes.
No, not at all.
But you do that effortlessly.
I love it. I love it. Singing is my saving grace.
Wow.
I feel so blessed and thankful that I can live my dream. And it has not been easy, but I would not give it up for anything in the world. For
At what
nothing.
age did you tell yourself that you're going to make it big, you know?
This happened late.
When you
I was
started?
in my 20s
Oh,
and
okay.
still at university in New York, and I happened to sit in at a jam session in New York City at the Village Vanguard downtown, and they were having an open mic night, and I got up there, and I tell you guys, the minute I got on that stage, it was like an epiphany. I found my calling. And nothing could deter me. Nothing. Nobody could say, Mary Clay, you shouldn't do this. Nobody could say, Mary Clay, you can't sing. Nope. God spoke to me. And I followed that. I followed that feeling inside. And I knew it could not be wrong. And I don't regret it.
Wow. So you were confident, even, you know, at that
Yeah.
time that you could do it well. And
Yeah.
I guess you had your family members
Yes.
pushing you as well,
No,
friends, anybody?
no. I mean, come on. West
Wow.
Indian families with the arts. No, they want to know that their children are secure, that you're going to get your pension and your social security, and you're stable. And the arts can be completely unstable. But again, I could not be deterred, and I could not be stopped, and I didn't. And I
We'll
don't
come back
regret
there, Nigel. But let's go back to,
Yes.
to the
yeah,
earlier
we'll
days,
go here because
Nigel.
I want to find out when she did that open mic. What was the song that she did? So we'll come back there.
Yes,
If
the
she remembers
open.
that, we'll come back
Yes,
there.
of course.
But so at the elementary school, you know, you were involved in the little choir, you and your girlfriends, and then
Yes.
a little bit in sports as well. What was it like in terms of you being, I don't want to say accepted, but you being part of that circle at the time? Because although you were young and you probably was from Dominica, were they curious about where you were from, or was it just
They were
let's
totally
just move along?
they were totally curious because I have an accent, and they wanted to know where I was from, and they were very curious about my skin tone and the color of why my hair curled the way it did, and yes, it was very curious. Yes.
Imagine people putting you under scrutiny just to look at you and look at your
putting
Yeah.
images.
putting me under scrutiny. I'm sorry, Iola's telling me to
Of
dab my.
course. That's part of the program. I like this. You know, I like this.
This is what she does.
Of
Yes,
course.
and I'm grateful for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay,
Dab
here we
a
go.
little. Yeah, man.
Yes, and But it was also a great experience because I bonded with girls at my school that I am still friends with today.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, by the way, Paulina Barron says hi. She said
Hello.
you're her neighbor in the Bronx. So good morning
Yes.
to you,
How are
Paulina, as
you?
well. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So elementary school, and then of course you then moved on to middle school and so on.
Yes.
What was the experience there? Was it similar to the elementary? Did you still form a little clique of girls singing in the choir and so on?
My friends, we went to so I went to elementary school in the Bronx, and then when I applied for high school, I wanted to go to high school in the city. I wanted a different experience. And I applied to Cathedral High School, which is not far from the United Nations. So a lot of diplomats' children, they went there, and I got accepted. And a bunch of my girl, it was an all-girls school, parochial Catholic school as well. And some of my friends, like 5 or 6 of us, we went to Cathedral, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I love the Catholic upbringing. The fact that you have to wear a uniform, it takes the pressure away of having to wear an outfit every day, so you're not thinking about your clothes. The fact that it was all girls means that you didn't have the attention of boys, which was fantastic. So you could really focus on what you needed to focus on, and it was a great experience. Of course, there was a choir there that I was a part of, and we sang at St. Patrick's Cathedral every now and then on Fifth Avenue, and it opened me up to more world experiences. We had trips to Europe every day where I was able to go on 2 of those trips throughout Europe, and it was just a wonderful experience. Just taking the train from the Bronx to Manhattan is incredible. The kind of diversity, the kind of people that you see and run into is fantastic.
Interesting. Nigel, wow, I
Would you
love
say
this.
was it during that?
Go ahead, Nigel. Go ahead.
Would you say was it during that point in time that you began to recognize the whole thing about cultural diversity, different tones, and the fact that you're from the Caribbean, even if you're black as well, but it's a different kind of experience? Was it during that time at high school you began to see the differences?
I didn't really get it then, how I know that there is a difference between being a black woman and being from the Caribbean rather than being from the United States. And a friend of mine who's in marketing, an African American gentleman, explained, and he broke it down to me in such a way that I was like, oh, that's what it is. He said, Mary Claire, even though Africans were brought to the Caribbean as slaves, right? When you came to the United States, your mother chose to come here. You took a plane, you bought a ticket, and you chose to come to the United States of America. Whereas African Americans were basically stolen, kidnapped, and put on a ship. So it creates a different experience. And I was like, yeah,
Yes,
that
yes.
is, I said, that is very,
It,
that's
it,
very
it does.
true.
It does. I remember my first couple of years here, trying to explain why is it that there seem to be, in terms of African Americans here, black, and why is it that they seem to have a different perspective on things as compared to us from the region. We're kind of more relaxed and we don't see certain things, and
Right.
experiences are different, so the reactions are
And
going to be different. Yeah,
and another
definitely
thing is
so.
that in predominantly most of the Caribbean islands, the majority is black. The
Predominantly, that's true.
majority is black. We are not the minority.
Interesting. But the cultural,
So true.
the cultural diversity there and all of that worked well for you, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. When I even though I was brought up in the Bronx, living in my grandmother's house, in my mom's home, it was like being in Dominica. Cocoa tea practically every morning, saltfish breakfast, big Sunday lunch. I was not in New York City when I came home. I was in Dominica with all of the smells and the music and the upbringing was all Dominica. Like I could clean a house like nobody.
Wow.
You could eat off the floor just from the upbringing of my grandmother and my mother.
Wow. Imagine that, Nigel.
Yes, yes,
She can
yes.
clean a
And
house.
I always love when when the parents and the grandparents make sure that the
Yeah.
kids have that Dominican-ness remaining
Yes.
in them.
And
You know what I
you
mean?
take it with you
It's,
wherever
it's
you go.
important to do that.
Yes,
Yes,
I
it's
mean
important to
my
keep that.
mother's work ethic is, I don't know how my mother I mean my mother's going to be 80 years old in May, and I don't know how my mother does half the things that she does. You know, it's she's extraordinary.
Wow.
Wow, 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 wow. So the journey so far, of course, America, you've taken us from convent prep, or convent school prep, everything else, all the way up to the Bronx. We are attending this particular Catholic high school. Um, did you get more involved in the arts while in high school then?
I was in the choir, choir at Cathedral High School, but the arts, because singing came so easily to me, I didn't really think of the arts as anything special. It's just something that I had. It's something that I loved. My favorite composer is Beethoven. I took classical piano growing up. I just thought that everyone had this access, that everyone was interested in all these things. I didn't think of it as anything anything special. It's only through time and through the experiences that I've had that I've come to realize that, you know, I'm pretty damn special.
Wow.
And you are.
Thank you.
What about some so I mean in the choir high school did you guys sing more? What genre of music were they singing more?
It was all secular religious music. It was not gospel. It was really true Catholic Gregorian chants, this kind of thing that we did. Nothing soulful in the way that it was soulful for the spirit, but not soulful as in gospel soulful. It was not R&B based.
Wow. But
So you'd have to
apart,
get so that you would do when you go when you get home or when you're on the bus, you would hear all these other kinds of
Yeah,
music
on
play.
the bus we would be
Yeah.
into the popular music of the day, and we would sing on the train. It was really my two friends, Gail and Veronica. We all lived in the same area of the Bronx. We would take the train every morning and every afternoon, and we would have. You know, we would sing on the train.
So-
have
so-
these 3-part harmonies on the train in our uniforms, and people would love it.
so you were never shy. I get the feeling that you were never shy.
No,
Okay.
I was never shy.
Wow.
I was not a shy person like that. I had my moments, but not when it came to singing.
What about plays? Were you involved in theater as well at that
Theater
age?
later.
Okay,
Theater
came
later,
later, okay.
because
We'll
I
go
had
there.
a bad stammer when I was growing up.
Okay.
I started very badly, and I had to get a lot of vocal therapy for that, which I eventually did get out of, but that paused me from going on the stage. I had an audition for Annie because I tap danced very well, and my teacher wanted to submit me, but because they wanted to give me a speaking part, and because I had such a stammer, I couldn't do it.
Interesting. Do you know I used to study as well?
Really?
You used to?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Yes.
In my early
So
my
you went
earlier
through,
years.
you took therapy as well? You went through sessions as well? Nigel?
No, my mother gave me
Oh.
one cool beer in the back of my back and they just fix up.
Well, that's the way of handling it. Well, that too.
Hey, Papa. You mean from that moment it just disappeared, Nigel? Are you saying that?
Yeah,
It
that's a
disappeared?
local remedy, you know.
That's abuse?
Yeah, no local remedy, man. One cool beer in your back and you just stop.
Wow. Imagine that. So, Mark, how long it took
Nah, I'm
you?
just
How long
kidding.
it
But
took you,
I don't know. I
Mark?
guess it evolved after the time. So,
It basically
Yeah.
it stopped when I was in my late teens, 17, 18. Yes. It
Interesting.
slowly went away.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah. So I'm a little interested in when you on the train, you guys were just singing, you know, the three of you.
Yes.
What were some of the popular songs around then? You remember that?
Oh my, we would sing like doo-wop songs from the 50s, like ooh, why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? Songs like that. We would harmonize on these all these old songs.
Wow. And you know those old songs, I tell you, those old songs.
I'm telling you, everybody I love is dead.
There's a song, Nigel, when I was at preschool, at the social center preschool, and that was many moons ago. And we used to sleep in the afternoons, and the teacher would sing this song. Well, I'm not going to sing it, obviously. Something like La La
But
La,
that's
Lily
what I'm
Lily.
waiting for. Oh my
Like something like
God.
Blueberry Hill, or
Yes.
Mockingbird Hill, something like that. And I should just sang that song, Yeah, it just came to mind.
Kind of brought back a
Just,
little memory
yeah.
for you.
Because the old
Oh.
songs, I tell you, there's something about the old songs, and they are timeless as well.
They are timeless. This is why
Training ground.
I love jazz so much because they are standards. The Great American Songbook. They're standards for a reason. That you could take these songs that was written sometimes maybe 100 years ago, and you can really make it your own. The music and especially the lyrics are, even though they were written such a long time ago, they are relatable
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And this is why they stand the test of time.
And simple
Yes.
lyrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
There's a
deep
story
lyrics and
song, yeah,
moving
yeah,
lyrics and
yeah.
lyrics that are timeless, that people, even if you were from the 1920s, you relate to it, but in 2025 you can relate to it as well. And they
That is
really
true. That
and
is
they
true.
really capture the human experience in so many ways, in so many different colors. They're just magnificent songs.
Yeah. I like how you put it, because I always think of this myself, with the old songs. I mean, I'm an old girl because I love, old time music.
You're a beautiful girl. Stop
I
it.
love the old time. Well, I love the old time music, so I should say that. Seriously, I love the old time music, and
Yes.
I go way back with.
But then I love the
music.
new time. I love
Well,
the music
yeah,
too.
we have good music, obviously.
I love the new, like for instance,
I love the 80s music.
I
and
was
the 90s.
introduced this past I was here for Carnival, and I was introduced to the music of Ridge and Signal Band.
yes,
oh my God! Oh my God!
Can you sing
What?
a note in one of the songs?
What is
that
what is the song? Oh my God! Now it goes completely.
Which one, from
out of
Signal
my head.
Band?
Carnival is one of the songs that is like practically an anthem, and they're just amazing. And the lyrics are great. The music is great. It's motivational. It's uplifting. They're just awesome.
And I can almost begin to see a collab between Mariclay and Signal Band. So
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
I'm
I
just-
think that'll be
I'm
so
just
yeah,
putting it out
awesome.
there,
yeah.
That'll be so awesome.
All right, so hey, Shelly, get ready. I'm Mariclay to collab with you. So oh, by the way,
Open the road. I always say open the road.
Open the road,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have so much talent
it's-
here in Dominica. Dominica is a land, we're a land of so many volcanoes, I think for a reason, because the land is so fertile and anything can grow here. The island is alive and constantly changing because of all the activity that is on it from the nature. And I think that comes through the people. We are such a diverse and beautiful people, and we can do so many things. As a black people, that we can make nothing out of something and we make something great. I think, every Dominican should be proud. It's just I'm so proud to be from here.
I love that. I want to go back a little to that to the high school and your free friends and the train ride
yes.
and having to sing different songs when you're out of school as compared to when you're in school.
Yes.
And that's always interesting to me, that because you have to basically in a sense, were you then kind of discovering on that train ride when you were singing other songs that maybe that might be what I want to do, or
Not at all. It was never
not another that time?
It was never an option. It's just something that I did. Even though, I loved singing. I had records. I had Madonna. I had U2, the Police, I never thought that I could act, that this was something that I could do, even though I went to concerts and
Yeah.
all of that, and I wanted to do it. It was never something that actually formulated until much later.
Wow. Nigel, I really love.
So at that time,
Go ahead.
at that time, high school, what were you thinking of becoming?
I
Because
wanted to be
the arts wasn't an option then. Were you thinking
Yeah.
of becoming a teacher?
Yeah, I
or,
wanted to be a
a
journalist.
doctor,
No,
the
this will be a
usual thing?
journalist. But you know they don't get paid.
Right. You see, everything that I wanted
Even
to do,
and no matter what the country.
no matter what I wanted to do, no one gets paid in anything that I want to do, and everything that I want is the most expensive. So it's been hard. So journalist was one, and then I finally wanted to do archaeology. I have a love of history. I love history. I think that the fact that we don't know enough about what happened in the past, I think it speaks volumes to what's happening in the world today. And And what's sad is that everything is so accessible. You can go onto Google, you can ask Siri. You don't have to go to a library. It's right here on your phone. And the amount of people that are just not informed on things that is easily accessible. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going, and you don't know who you are. So I think history and knowledge of places and facts are extremely important. And so I'm a researcher, I'm a historian. I love it. I just love history.
Wow.
Yes,
Nigel, I love
yes,
this.
yes.
But
The
but I
knowledge,
also,
the
Nigel, I have
roots,
the
of
urge
course.
now. I don't to listen to something from Marie Claire. I don't know anything. Marie Claire, can you just like sing a note for us, sing something for
Sure,
us at this
sure.
point?
So this is
Someone is asking me by the way via WhatsApp. So let us sing. Let us just sing something, and then we'll
so
go back
this
to
is
the.
one of my this is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
It's written by Irving Berlin, and it's called Change Partners. And a lot of the songs that Irving Berlin wrote for the movies, he wrote for Fred Astaire, which was the first person to ever sing them. And in this movie, he wrote it for Fred Astaire for the movie Carefree. And in the scene that you guys can watch on YouTube, which is so magical. So Fred and Ginger are on this very crowded dance floor, and Fred is in this tux, and Ginger is in this great gown, and she's dancing with Ralph Bellamy. And if you guys don't know who Ralph Bellamy is, he's the actor that acted with Dom Amici in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. They're much older, of course, but this is a young, very young Ralph Bellamy. And so he and Ginger are on the dance floor, right? And Fred is dancing with his partner on the other side of the dance floor. So you would think that when Fred starts to sing, he's singing to his partner. But no, he's actually singing to Ginger. And this is the song, Change Partners. Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate gal? You have danced with her since the music began. Won't you change partners and dance with me? Must you dance quite so close, with her cheek touching your face? Can't you see I'm longing to be in her place? Won't you change partners and dance with me? So that's a little bit.
I love it. I love it.
Isn't that
I
beautiful?
love it.
Yeah.
Isn't
That's
that
why
beautiful?
you guys gotta
Oh
be.
my God! It's just
And but apart
Yes.
from that, her smile, Nigel, while she's singing,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
like me, I
Yes,
can't hold
yes,
this note.
yes.
I won't be able to hold this note. Far less to smile, and just do this, effortlessly, just
Yes,
relax.
yes. That's why you guys have to be at the Jazz and Creole Cabaret.
Oh,
get
it's going to
more
be so
facts.
lovely. It's going to be so lovely.
Yes,
It's going to be a
it's
beautiful,
gonna be
beautiful.
lovely down there. Yes. And let me call American Airlines and see where I get a little thing.
And thank you to
Gonna be
DDA.
lovely.
Thank you to DDA. Thank you to Marva. Thank you to Iodel. They've been wonderful. Thank you for having me. It's going to be such a wonderful experience. And I want to bring something very beautiful and magical.
I know. I can just imagine that already. So we're gonna come to that open mic when you got that epiphany and your calling came through.
Yes.
And you said this is it. No matter what you say, this is it. But just before we get that though, in terms of the whole atmosphere growing up in the Bronx as a high school, in high school, and
Yes.
being from the Caribbean, being black, the diversity. We know in the Bronx and in New York, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
And were you ever at one point felt like you don't belong there, or were you ever, or you just felt like you're part of this Bronx, New York culture?
I always felt that I was an outsider, whether in less in New York. But I've always felt that because I sing opera, I sing jazz, but I'm not really in any of these worlds. So I'm really charting my own path into this because I mix the genres. I put opera into my jazz music when I sing. But New York City is people ask me if I'm in a relationship. Yeah, it's with New York City. I love this place. I love New York. I love getting off the train at Grand Central and I look up and I see the Chrysler Building, which is just fantastic. The Empire State Building. I can walk from where I live on the Upper East Side to walk to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is my favorite place in the city, where there's so many great works of art, but there's also historical artifacts, which is my love of history and archaeology. You can go to Lincoln Center, where you can see ballet, the opera, jazz at Lincoln Center, everything you can imagine. You imagine it, it's there for you to access. And at very reasonable prices. You don't have to pay the astronomical, skyrocketed prices of New York City. There are prices you can go to the theater for $25, and see the same performance as someone who paid $600. And everything is there for you. Everything is there for you. I don't know if I answered your question, but
Yeah, I mean, your love for New York it comes through. I mean, it's almost like there's a connection there that you've formed over all those years and
yes.
everything else.
Yes.
Did you ever have to experience any kind of racism during that time?
The only time I experienced racism was from, unfortunately, from African Americans. And it's interesting because it was more direct with African Americans, but from Caucasians, it's almost an undercurrent. They don't tell you, but you feel it. And but something that I was raised with from my Uncle Eric, he said, Mary Claire, no door will ever be closed to you if you're the best at what you do. You just work hard, you follow the steps, you don't take the shortcut, you do the work, and they won't deny you. And and that really stayed with me. And I go anywhere. I go anywhere and everywhere. Because I feel I belong everywhere.
Wow.
You
have confidence in yourself. I like this. And
proud of who I am and where I come from. My grandparents, my grandmother, Lorna Buffong from South City, both my grandparents, on my mother, my father's side. My grandmother from Grand Bay, my grandmother on my father's side from Pichelin. I have a great love for South City and that side of the island. I used to be able to drive to Grand Bay. I feel that I could drive to Grand Bay with my eyes closed. That's how much I would drive to Grand Bay.
Wow. And she's saying this, dear Nigel, I'm just remembering something I read not too long ago. And it says that you have to welcome your position on this journey. For in the tapestry of life, every soul plays a vital role in the intricate dance of evolution and understanding.
Yes.
So I just
both good and bad.
Yeah, both
everybody plays a part.
Positive and negative. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and sometimes people feel that when you have a failure, oh my God, I failed. No, that's how we learn. If we have only good experiences, we don't learn. You just pick yourself up, you have to learn from the mistakes and move forward, and learn from it, and that's how we grow, and that's how we create masterpieces. Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Duke Ellington, these were not, they did not create perfect things the first go sometimes. They had to rewrite and repaint and resculpt, but they created masterpieces.
But at that time, were you doing research on, your own little research on, some of the singers of back in the day? Of course, you sang this What's New Pussycat for us from Tom Jones.
Oh, I love Tom Jones.
So apart from singing the songs, were you also doing your little research at that time?
The reason why I sing is because of my love for Ella Fitzgerald. I started working at Tower Records in New York, one of the biggest record stores in the world at that time. And I worked in the jazz department, and it exposed me to Ella Fitzgerald. Wow. I mean, Ella Fitzgerald came up in a time where it was not easy to be a black person in the a black woman in the United States. She grew up during Jim Crow. But you never heard that when Ella sang. You only heard the joy, the effervescence, the beauty, the magic. You never heard the pain, the suffering in her voice. And that called to me, and I loved that about her. Other great singers, Dinah Washington, Nancy Wilson, Leontine Price, Marian Anderson. These are all exemplary black singers that are exceptional and who transcended their times. So I really look to people that motivate, that inspire, that no matter what they overcame, and they overcame extraordinarily.
Nigel, this is deep.
It is, and you can see the journey that Marika is on, and where that journey started off, which takes me to the open mic
Yes.
when you got that
You
calling.
won that part, eh, Nigel? You won that
Yes,
open mic.
yes, because that's when
Yeah.
she got that calling.
Sure.
That's when it happened. It's when it all just, the light bulb just went off and said, "This is it. This is it. This is it."
It was it was
Do you recall that? Do you recall that moment? Do you recall?
yes.
Yes.
Like it was yesterday. I mean, the song that I sang was Fever, Peggy Lee's song, Fever, and I got the sheet music. I learned the song, and it was a moment that I will never forget. I got on that stage and I touched the microphone, and it's like the room disappeared, the people disappeared, and it's like God literally spoke to me. It was an epiphany.
Let's relive that moment, and let's hear Marika sing Fever
Yeah,
on
Nigel, you
that
know the
night.
drill, eh? You know
Yes.
the vibes.
Never know how much I love you. I never know how much I care. But when you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, the moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, 'cause you know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever, I'm on fire, fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Fever isn't such a new thing, fever started long ago.
Nigel,
Oh man,
this
man.
is so clean.
Yes, I was getting a fever there
Wow.
myself. Yes, yeah.
We're gonna cool you down. We're gonna cool you down, Nigel.
Yeah, what about that song, Marika? Were you like, was it the relationship that got you having fever, or you just love the song?
No, I just love
What
the
was
song.
going on?
Okay.
I just love the song. I just love Peggy Lee. Everything that Peggy Lee ever did was just fantastic, and her delivery of that song is just, there's nobody that does it better.
For
There's
those who
some-
don't know, give us just a brief idea. Who is Peggy Lee?
Peggy Lee is a white jazz singer and actress in the United States. She's dead now, but she had an amazing career, both singing and acting. And her version of Fever, I'm a Woman, these are just incredible, iconic songs.
So you went to
Yes.
Marika. So you went to music school as well, right?
No.
Because you did not go to music school.
I did classical training in Italy, but that was in my 20s. But I did not, and I went to choir practice, choir rehearsals, choir training, and I took classical piano, but I did not go to music school.
That's a blessing, Nigel, because her impressive career
Man,
has taken her
that
to
is-
legendary venues, across the world.
Yes. That's what you call talent plus, So you had the mic, you sang that song, you got fever, you got people getting the fever as well, and you said, "This is it. This is where I'm
This
going
is it.
from
No,
here
God
on."
told me this is it. I didn't tell myself. It was literally a conversation, and God was like, I know it sounds like woo woo and everything, but this really is what happened, and I never looked back. I just never. I knew that feeling that I had on that stage was not false. It was not anything negative. It was not anything bad, and it gave me roots. I grew roots of an oak
Wow.
in that feeling.
The strength.
And I never stopped. No matter what anybody
That is
said, I didn't
awful.
care. I didn't care what anybody said. I did not care.
When you answer the call, that's what happens.
When you answer the
Yes,
call,
yes.
and
Yeah,
you know
you're
it's funny.
determined.
being an artist is not easy. It's financially demanding, and
Mhm.
but I'm a very spiritual person. No, I don't go to church every Sunday and say the Hail Mary and novenas and all of that stuff. But I talk to God, and He tells me, Marika, just do the work. You go to your lessons, you go to your practice, and I will provide the rest. Just be ready for the opportunities when they come.
Can you remember how you felt on your very first, your major show in the first one, if you can remember back then?
Oh my God! It was at
How it
Carnegie
was?
Hall, and it was. I think I had a smile so broad on my face that it gave me a headache. That's how much I was smiling. The feeling it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Were there
that-
butterflies? Were you
Singing
nervous?
at Carnegie Hall.
Were you,
yes,
I
of
mean,
course,
for those who don't know, man, I mean, if you get to sing at that hall, then you can just imagine what it's like singing there, because not
Yeah,
anybody
my
sings there,
God,
put it
Nigel.
there, right?
and I've sung there twice.
but were you nervous the very first time? Did you have
The
that?
very first time I was, yes, of course, you always have nerves, but you use the nerves. You use the nerves to your advantage, But it was just, I was prepared, I was ready, and it was fantastic. It was one of the best moments of my life. And I recently sang there in 2022.
Do you remember what you sang the very first time? Well, you should remember. You have attention
yes,
for details.
Yes,
So.
yes. I did two arias, and then I did the quartet from Verdi's Rigoletto, which is an opera, and I played Magdalena, and it was just fantastic. Verdi is just incredible, and to be able to sing that music is incredible.
Nigel, wow.
Would
Yes,
you guys like to hear an aria?
But of course.
Would you like to hear an aria?
I was about to ask.
But
this.
of course, of course.
Okay,
of
okay.
course.
So I
Wow.
just got cast as a soprano, which is my first outing as a soprano, to play the Countess in Pennsylvania this summer in Mozart's The Marriage of Figaro. And in this aria, the Countess is lamenting the loss of the love of her husband, the Count, who is after her servant Susanna. And this is Porgy Amor.
Okay, even before you start to sing, though, let me just ask quickly.
Yes.
Because to me, like to one rather who has like no knowledge about the the intricacies of soprano. Explain it to us, because for me it sounds a little convoluted. So
Okay,
simplify this for us.
Okay, so soprano. So there are different voice categories for women in the operatic world. There's soprano, and even under soprano, there are different categories. There is the dramatic soprano, there's the dramatic coloratura, which means you're very big and you go very fast. Then there's the lyrico spinto, which is what I am, which is just a lower, it's still big, still high. Then there's the lyric, and then there's the soubrette. Then you have mezzo, which is lower than soprano. Then you have contralto, alto.
Wow, Nigel. Okay, Papa. Yeah, that's a lot for
Yes,
me.
these are the different levels. These are the different
Yeah.
groupings, different
Yes.
categories. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so we're gonna get this song.
Yes, you can do it right now. Okay, so this is a bit of Porgy Amor. Porgy Amor, qualche restoro, that was just a bit.
Nigel.
Wow.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm fine. Nigel,
We're just recovering.
Nigel, we started this program in 2020. It was in November, and look at where we are today. Soprano, live for us in studio, Nigel. Can you
I know.
believe this?
And
Man.
what is actually
And that's a
blown me
Dominican.
before is it's almost the effortless
it is.
to use that word in the way Miracle is doing what she's
Nigel,
doing.
I have
it's-
seen people perform songs, and and sometimes you can see. I would say they're struggling somewhat, but Marie Claire is just there. and the melody, the voice, everything just flows, and she's still smiling.
Was that
I
something
love
that
doing it. I love it.
you've had to
Gee.
practice over the years,
Oh my
smile and
God,
sing, or just you?
this takes a tremendous amount of practice,
Hmm.
tremendous amount of work, tremendous amount of determination, of discipline.
Yeah.
Practicing with my teachers 4 days a week, learning scores, learning music, practicing on my own, even when I'm not with my teachers. But I mean, look at the benefits.
Wow.
This
You
is
ha-
what
you-
I love.
Wow, you have to have this right timing and how to breathe properly.
Yes. Yes, it's fun. I wouldn't give it up for
So
anything.
no, I can tell. So when so that night at the open mic and you got the call and you answered the call and you did that song and you said this is it. What was it like? What I'm not sure if you were on the train or the bus or you had a ride or whatever it is. What was it like on your way back to the house?
Oh my God! It was a friend of mine actually drove me and waited for me, and he was quite upset that he had to wait so long, but I was like elated. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I was on a mission right now, and it was incredible. It was incredible, and I knew what I was going to do for the rest of my life. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was going to do it.
So when you got home, did you share that with I mean, were you living alone then, or you still with your mom,
No,
or
no,
how
no,
did
no.
you
I was
share?
definitely staying with my mom in the Bronx. It wasn't anything. I was very much deterred from pursuing the arts. Not that my mom didn't believe in me, but she was just worried as a mother that I wouldn't be able to provide for myself. That I would not have enough income to do it. But I knew that with God on your side, what you can do anything.
So true.
Wow. Nigel, let us see what the book is saying. Let's get some of the comments from
Right.
people on the
Well,
book.
the book has been
Wow.
going kind of crazy, so not sure where we go to start, but I know. Oh, by the way, hey, good morning to you, Jacinta, my dear. Jacinta Banis, of
Hi,
course.
Jacinta.
And she should just make sure that Ayo makes the spinach for you, okay?
Oh my God, yes. Oh
Yes,
Lord.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
Iola's mom makes the best spinach that I love. You hear that, Iola? Yes. Okay.
All right, Jefferson Moyes, good morning to you. Says it gives him inspiration. Rosalind Sever McLean, good morning. She says her dad, your dad, used to be a doctor or something. I'm not sure that's what she's saying. I'll go back and read it again.
Yes.
Oh, my dad collected 33 LPs, and Peggy Lee was one of them. Absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Tina Bell says that she took a picture of you when you were small back in convent.
Eh.
And she had to
Oh,
fix your hair. She had
yeah.
to fix your hair and your clothes so many times before you took
Yes,
that
you
picture.
see?
Yeah.
Always a mess.
So your hair was all over the place back in the day.
Yes.
Nigel. Wow. A lot of
Yes,
people
yes, yes. So,
um
your uncle, which was actually your uncle, Dr. Buffon, he was my
Yes.
doc in the early parts of the 1990s or something like that.
Yes. Yes.
Sandra Norris says she loves your confidence. You definitely got that from your grandmother,
Yes.
Buffon.
Mabu Fong. Yes.
Yes, yes. Josephine John says, good morning, great soul. Jokam says, oh my God, what a beautiful black lady. Beautiful, beautiful. Say hi to your mom, Joyce, for me.
Will do.
Um, so let's see. Lots of other stuff in there. Anything that you're seeing from your end, Ivona? Let's see.
Winnie Green,
Um,
you read Winnie Green's comment? That's right, Marie Claire. You should have no fear of people, no matter what their racial background is. You just have to be you and let them see that your confidence supersedes their racism.
Yes.
So that's when we were talking earlier about this. Rosalind Sever McLean, I think you read this. I'm not too sure. Yes, you said about I knew her uncle, Dr. Buffon. Sonia Williams is on
Yes.
as well. Cecilia Dorset, Sandra Norris. A lot of people. Wow. A lot of people
a lot
are
of people, lots
really
of
enjoying
comments
it.
there.
Katana George.
Someone, let's see, is it Katina George?
Yes,
I guess?
Katana, she's asking,
No,
is
Katana.
acting in the works for Marie?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Absolutely. In a big way. Actually, everything is coming together at one time.
Okay.
My jazz CD is coming out when I get back up to New York. I am appearing in opera in my first role as a soprano this summer, and I just got cast in my first feature length film that is filming next year.
Wow.
So everything is coming at one time.
One time.
At one time.
Katana
And
George is
Yes,
also
yes.
saying, please let her know her skin is flawless. She look gorgeous.
Thank
She
you.
looks gorgeous, yeah. Wow.
monthly facials.
The
Gotta take
stars
care
are
of the
aligned. The
skin.
stars
Yes.
are aligned in the way
Talented.
they should. You know, Winnie Green says, "Oh my Jesus, what a
Yes.
talent!
Yeah.
You
Cecilia
blessed with a
Dorset.
beautiful voice."
Cecilia Dorset is saying, Ivo, you have jokes. I gave a joke the other night. Yesterday, just say what I want to. Cecilia.
I think if you have a calling, if you know what you want to do, you just have to pursue it. And
Yes.
there may be naysayers, and the naysayers might not even be thinking that it's something negative that they're doing, but it's more coming from fear that they don't want you to pursue it because they love you and they care for you, because they want you to have financial security, which is so important in this world that we live in. But what is more beneficial to your soul? You know, I think a lot of the problems in this world is because people do not pursue their callings and their dreams. And once you let a dream die, I mean, I think you die. You have to pursue it. You have to pursue it till there's nothing else to pursue. And you have to keep going because the universe and God will provide the way. Because if you have this calling, you have to go for it. And you cannot give up. You
Nigel,
have to go for it.
you see all what we are getting on this program? Apart from she's singing and you know, going back in time, I mean, the words of wisdom, you know.
Yes, yes,
And you
yes,
can't-
yes.
and
And
you
to all
can't
the
take-
artists out there
And you
who are on the
can't
fence,
take and you can't
you
take
know,
any
if you
short
feel
steps.
this is what you've been called for, go and go
Yeah.
for it.
She has more to say.
Yeah.
Just do the work. The work is super important because when you do the work and you give yourself a strong foundation regarding your technique, whether you're a guitarist, a violinist, a singer, an actor, you know, a painter, once you have a technique, no one can take that away from you. And you give yourself a firm foundation to stand on that no one will question you when you become the best at what you can do.
Nigel, Winnie Green is saying, oh my Jesus, what a talent. Marie Claire, you were blessed with a beautiful voice. But she still said as well, please sing the Ave Maria.
Ooh.
And Ayola also gave me a note, and she just left. She said, try to play Caravan, is that?
Oh, yes.
Or Chasing Rainbows.
Yes,
But
both
we'll
of the
ask you to
songs-
sing it instead.
Yeah,
because
both
we
of
may
the
just-
songs I will be. So, Chasing Rainbows is one of my original songs. I wrote it myself with my own little hands, and it's all about never giving up on your dreams. That there will always be storms, there will always be lightning and thunder and rain, and it's life. But after all of that, there will always be a rainbow. So you cannot give up. You just have to keep going. Even through the storm, you just have to keep going, one foot in front of the other. So this is a bit of Chasing Rainbows. Chasing rainbows, I'm chasing rainbows. Whenever I'm sad and feeling bad, I chase rainbows. Chasing rainbows, pretty multicolored rainbows. Whenever I'm glum and feeling blue, I chase rainbows. Blue as can be, blue straight down to my feet, blue like a child whose lollipop is dropped and it's hit the ground. That's why I'm chasing rainbows. I'm chasing rainbows. Whenever I'm sad and feeling bad, I chase rainbows.
Nigel, I can see myself at the event next to it, God willing, obviously. You know, and Marie Claire is singing, and I can see the tears. I can see it, not just feel it. I can see the tears just, you know, rolling down. Seriously, this is.
I can see you. I can also see you
Yeah.
chasing rainbows as well.
Yeah.
Because I know you have some rainbows you gotta chase, and you have not been doing that.
Yeah, I'm procrastinating, but I'm getting a lot of words of wisdom from Marie Claire.
Yes,
That tells
yeah,
me that I have
yes,
to,
yes, yes,
press
yes.
forward to do what I have to do.
Yes, press
I know,
forward.
I
Keep
know.
going. Keep moving forward.
Go for it. Go for it. So,
Keep-
so, Marie Claire, I don't
Yes.
know why that open mic got me. So you know, so you got the open
Yes,
mic, you
sir.
got the calling, you went, you drove home, You said this is it. This is what I'm going to pursue. And then, of course, did reality hit you then that, yeah, this is what I want to do, but it's going to be a lot. The challenges out there. What are the challenges that you kind of had to go through early on?
Um, After that open mic night, that was my reality. So it wasn't like I went back to a reality that was not what happened. That was my reality. And I just put one foot in front of the other, and I just did what I had to do. I left home. I traveled. I lived in Rome, where I studied opera singing. And I would advise any young person, before you get married and settle down and have kids, travel. Get your passport. Get a backpack. Go. Pick someplace on the map. Because these life experiences will only fuel you and help you, because there's nothing like experiences for a person to grow and learn. So travel the world.
Marie Claire is like Marie Claire Giraud is like a coach there in Niger, giving so much advice.
Yes,
And who would have thought?
yes, which is good, which is good, which is good. What was it like in Rome? What was it like in Italy? What was it? What was the experience?
I have a special place. I mean, it's Dominica, New York, and Rome. I mean, Rome is. It was one of the most magical times of my life. I say magical a lot because I believe in it, and it was an incredible experience. I speak fluent Italian. That's where I started my operatic training. I lived there. I worked there. I studied there. I sang there. It was incredible, and I went with just faith, and I knew I was going to be okay, and I was.
Wow.
I mean, living in a place where Michelangelo,
Yes,
Leonardo da Vinci, you see all these great works of art, but also the level of music that's there, from Verdi to Puccini to, it was incredible. And I lived in the center, walking distance from the Vatican. You could walk into so many of these churches and see these great works of art just there on the wall. It was constant inspiration every day.
man.
As you mentioned, walking to the Vatican, I just remember I read this message from Winnie Green. She was asking for Ave Maria. You want to do this for us?
Sure.
She never backs down, Nigel. She
No,
just,
no. Especially on the death of the Pope, the burial today.
Oh yeah, so
Why
Pope
not?
Frank. I mean, one of my special. Yeah, that was. I'm like a recovering Catholic, because that's a. Yeah, but yeah, Pope Frank was a very special man. Yes. Okay, so here's.
so as you're going to sing this song, and let me just ask you a question quickly. So when you get on stage, when you have to perform a song, how do you compose yourself? How do you do it? Especially when you have to sing a song like this, Ave Maria. How do you put yourself in the mood, in the right frame?
You give yourself a beat, where you have to center yourself and rely on your technique of years of training. Basically, is what you do, and that's what I do. Yeah. So here's a bit.
Nigel, you want to continue? You want to add something, Nigel, to this? you want to give it a shot, Nigel? Wow.
Who, me? Of all people?
Nigel, me, I sing my lane. Wow, this is something. You performed in Jamaica as well?
Yes.
was
I
it?
performed in Jamaica. Bob Andy wrote a song for me. I performed at Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival, the Ocho Rios Jazz Festival. And I have a song with Sprague Benz. I redid Bob Marley's Rastaman Chant, where I sing it operatically, and Sprague Benz does a verse on it, which is great. Yeah, I love Jamaica.
have to get that booyah collab between Mariclay and Shirley.
Yeah,
Booyah collab. Yes, yes, it's
that would be
coming. It's coming.
wonderful.
I can feel it. Actually, they'll be at the Jazz and Creole as
And I
well.
will be, and I will be right
So,
there. I will
that's going
be.
to be a good time. Yes, that's going to be a good time for them to call you on stage. And well, before that, I sending it out. I'm sending things out there. I'm just
That's
sending
wonderful.
things
It's
out there.
all about manifesting. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Imagine,
yes,
Nigel,
yes.
I'm just thinking, imagine you have a baby and, she's fussy or he's fussy and he doesn't want to go to sleep. And you just see that Marie Claire sing. And then sleep just comes.
Baby just gone.
Man, it just takes me back to what I said earlier when I was at school at Social Center Preschool, and they would sing us a song to put us to sleep, something like
Would you just-
"Tralala,
yes.
lily, lily, there's peace and goodwill to wake up in the morning, in the mockingbird trill, something like that." Wow, Angela, I love this program. I am really enjoying this thing today.
This
Thank you,
is the
guys. Thank
connection.
you.
Man.
Thank
This
you
is
for
what we
having
do.
me.
This is what we do. What about theater, Mariclay?
Wow. Yes.
When
Let's
did
go
you
there.
also decide to get into theater?
So this started happening in 2018, 2017. I had
Less
a
than 10
friend.
years.
I had a friend that was very good friends with one of the board members of HB Acting Studio. Donna DiMatteo was on the board. She recently died last year. Donna, rest in peace. And she came to hear me sing, and she said, "You know what, Mary Claire, I want to have you come down to HB because they give scholarships, because I think you're a great actress because you do so much in your acting when you sing." And I did, and I applied, and I got it, and I started taking acting classes. And it wasn't so far removed from singing an aria, because an opera is basically like a play with music. You have dialogue. So I was already acting, not even realizing it. And that led to me being in my first productions of Anthony and Cleopatra, playing Cleopatra's handmaiden. It led to me being in Titus Andronicus by Shakespeare, playing Marcus Andronicus. It led me to be in Tennessee Williams, one of his one-act plays, Hello from Bertha, where I played Goldie. And then this past February lets me being in a new play, Cherry House, on Broadway, and where I played Miss Barnes, Jamaican gun-toting madam in a brothel in 1865, New York City, which was amazing.
On Broadway.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on
Well, off Broadway.
Yes.
It's literally like right there,
Well, off
42nd
Broadway.
Street.
Yes, right across. Yes. Lovely.
And so in a play, it's 7 days a week. So it's 8 performances. So it's basically every day. And on Saturdays and Sundays, you have matinee and you have evening. But what I love about theater is that every night, you don't know what's going to happen on that stage. You're saying the same lines,
Yes.
but you grow so much. You always find these hidden jewels that wasn't there the night before, because your work, the show is alive. The words are alive. So you're always creating, and you're always finding new things within your character to bring forth. So I love the medium of theater. Theater is just fantastic. Whether it's opera, plays, jazz, it doesn't matter. It's just all wonderful.
Yes. For those who know me, they know that theater is my second love. So, when you do you see yourself at some point being able to, and maybe that's already happened to you anyway, at some point being able to kind of connect and marry your theater with your music?
Well, theater, yes, this is something that I do, as well as far as opera, as far as doing jazz. But I've also, during the pandemic, I wrote a musical entitled Charcoal, which has 11 original songs. So at some point, I'm going to do that. I'm going to mount that and put it on stage, and yes, that's in the works.
Nice.
Angela, I'm just
I love
picturing
that.
I'm just
Love when we're
picturing
able to go ahead and we create these musicals from
Nigel, I'm just picturing the audience.
without any.
Nigel's not
Go
hearing
ahead.
me. No, I'm just saying, I'm just picturing the audience, when Mary Clay is performing, and it's a disciplined audience. It's not like you're going to like a rock concert or something like that, a heavy booyah or all of that. and then they are very disciplined. But when she hits that note, I can just imagine what happens to the audience. That kind of thing, Nigel. Apart from just the applause,
Yes.
there's this
Yeah. Just it's the sheer presence, man. It's the
yes,
atmosphere
yeah,
that's created. It's the environment, and it's
yeah.
just the
So
the aura
yeah, so this leads me to
that
ask.
that comes with it.
This leads me to ask
Have
though.
you?
Let me just ask her quickly. I mean, you have inspired a lot of people. You have brought a lot of joy to people. Through your singing. But who inspires you, really? I mean, if you could mention a few names when we started, but what story do you look to for inspiration? During your gloomy days, during your dark days, if you have any.
I have I think a lot about my mom, because it must not have been easy for my mom in the 60s to leave my dad, Julian Giraud. Julian Giraud was quite a prominent man when he was, and especially at those times, and take my brother and I to settle in New York City and to start a new life as a single parent on her own. Of course, she had the help of my grandmother, but it could not have been easy. I look to my mom because she has a tremendous amount of fortitude, a tremendous amount of strength, and a tremendous amount of faith, and that's my guidepost. Is she can do anything, so I can do anything.
Mm.
An incredible amount of integrity.
Yeah, that's good. That's
I
profound.
love that. I love the mother's love and connection there.
And you get a
Yeah.
little descend the emotion that runs through Nigel while she was speaking
Mm-hmm.
about her mom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
she works
This
very
is where you
hard.
get the softer side of Mary Claire when she talks
Mm.
about her mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love my mom very much.
I definitely can tell that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're in a particular genre of music,
Yes.
jazz, opera, which one may probably say
Hmm.
is not
Nice question.
as popular as the other genres, especially within the Caribbean context. Well, even outsiders, not only Caribbean, worldwide, but more so Caribbean. Do you find it challenging for you because of that?
I don't think it's challenging for me. I think that we don't give the audience enough credit.
Mm,
Because I think that I love bouillon just as much as anybody, but
mm,
I also love jazz. I also love opera. I also love hip hop. So I think there is a place and a platform for us all to shine, and for us all to eat, and for us all to have a place. So I think everyone is valid, and everyone has a place, and we can all do it.
yes, 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 yes. Yeah, because often, what what got you more into that genre, jazz, opera? Is it because of, like you said, you always listen to the old songs back then? Because coming from the Caribbean, coming from Dominica, being in the Bronx and everything else, I mean, what got you in? What is it that influenced you to move into that genre instead of another?
Well, growing up with my grandmother Lorna Buffon was a huge classic movie fan. And
Mm,
I would watch these movies with my granny. And so she introduced me to all of these songs in the Great American Songbook. I sang them. I saw them. I knew them before I sang them by watching the musicals of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers
right. Mm,
and Sound of Music, Ben Hur. I mean, my grandmother loved these classic movies, and I would be the one to watch it with her. So she introduced me to all of this at a very young age. So I just loved them. I just loved them. They just spoke to me.
nice, nice, nice. Mina, I know you're asking for the longest while Mina wants summertime. We
Ooh.
can't give you everything today, but are you
Let
going
me
to give
tell you
us a little
something,
bit of
Nigel. I have a
summertime?
list of people. People are sending me WhatsApp messages, and yeah,
Yes,
songs
I'm
they
gonna do
want.
some. Let me do some summertime for you. Okay.
Okay, let's go with this.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you's gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing by. Don't you cry.
Do you have a preference in terms of like when you sing? Do you like to go very, very high, or do you like the songs that are like more slow? Is there a preference, or because you're a singer, well accomplished, it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. I go where the song takes me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be one of those moments, man, at the Jazz and Creole down at the Timbers. I just feel the vibes.
Yeah, it's going to be something quite special. I'm so looking
It's
forward
gonna
to
be a
it.
special moment.
I'm so looking
It's gonna
forward
be
to it.
very
I have
special.
Belle Noir is designing a one-of-a-kind piece for me to wear for the event. So everything is going to be local.
Nice.
Yes.
Man, is this gonna be like your first major performance in Dominica?
I've done many
First major
performances.
event, rather.
I've done many performances in Dominica, but this is my first festival in Dominica.
Okay.
Until the World Creole Music
And-
Festival could welcome.
And again, I'm
something
putting
this
it
as
out
well.
there. It's not going to be your last, so that's okay.
I hope I
Um,
will be asked again.
No, it's not. It's not. Not gonna be your last. It's not going to be your
Imagine
last.
a crowd
What
celebrating.
about your connection, if any, with Mikel
Oh,
Henderson?
I love all. Actually, last night was a lovely night where they celebrated Carlene XP, who is an incredible performer. She is such a star. And every woman on that stage was exceptional. Every woman that performed. Lily Octave, Mikel was there, celebrating and honoring Carlene. And it was just a wonderful night. I totally enjoyed it. I was exhausted. I just arrived yesterday, but I really wanted to go and support.
Yeah, I
And
know
I'm
you're
so
very
happy I
busy.
did.
I know you're very, very busy. But how much do you keep up? How much time do you find to keep up with our music in Dominica? Of
I don't
course,
have
you
any
love the
time.
view.
I don't have any
Yeah.
time. I
Yeah.
literally I have no time.
Wow.
When I come here is when I really like. For instance, I was introduced to their music because I sang at a funeral, a Dominican funeral, in D.C. Gabriel
Okay.
Christian's mom died, and I sang Ave Maria at the funeral, and the driver who drove me was playing Signal in the car, and I said, "Who is that?" And he said, "This is Signal Band from Dominica, Mary Claire. Haven't you heard of them?" And I was hooked.
Nice. I like that.
Well, you'll
What's a
share the
typical
stage
day
with
for
them.
Markley?
Oh, my typical day is a hectic day. Typical day is getting up early, not really talking a lot because usually I train every day with one of my teachers, my vocal teachers, and usually I stay very quiet before a lesson because I like to give all my focus and attention to that, and then after that, my day just unfolds. Whether
Yes.
it's going to acting, rehearsal. It's usually one rehearsal or the other.
What are some of your
or auditioning? Actually, I audition a lot.
What are some of your aspirations, though? Of course, you're still young, but
Sort of.
what are some of the things that you would like to do? Like years from now, maybe open a school or something, music
Actually,
school or theater.
my aunt, Alice Mahan in Maryland, gave my cousin Margot and I a project to open a foundation in Dominica, geared towards children and the arts and just uplifting, motivating. And we finally have a name. It's called Lorna's Granddaughters, named after my grandmother, our grandmother. And so that's in the works to form a foundation.
Something just came to mind. You ever visited the house of the Nicolases when you came back to Dominica? You
No.
ever revisited that place?
No, I passed by it, but I have not been. I have not been
Okay.
inside since. No.
Interested, Nigel.
Yes.
You ever went to
Any
convent
thought?
prep as well when you came back to Dominica?
No, I passed by it, of course, but I have not been
You're always
inside
very
since.
busy.
Yes.
Nice.
But I would love an invitation, sure.
Okay, I'm sure they're listening. By the way, Nigel, she's, let me just say hello to. I met this lady in the week, Nigel, and she always listens. Pretty girl, very pretty, very light skinned. I think her name is Tamara, and they call her Tammy, something like that. So let me just say hello to you. I'm sure you're listening, or if not, you will catch it later on. I just wanted to say this, Nigel.
Yes. Thanks, Tammy, for connecting with us every Saturday. Any thoughts of doing a Christmas album or Christmas songs and anything like that?
That is all. It's not on the top of my list, but of course that will. I'll probably come out with a single this Christmas. Write something original for Christmas and have it come out. I'm also working with a local girl here. Her name is Paris, who is an incredible singer, and look out for her because she's extraordinary. Ridge's sister, and just fantastic singer,
Pretty girl.
artist,
Very
lovely
pretty,
girl.
very pretty. Yeah.
Do you know her?
Nice.
Yes.
She's lovely.
Pretty.
She's really, she's like, if you want a comparison, she's like Tyler, but just even more than that. There's a lovely spirit in there that is just fantastic, and I'm really just, I really love working with her. And her voice.
What about your diet? Do you have a special diet, because you have to always keep that voice, clean?
Keep the voice, keep the figure.
And all of that. Yes.
Yeah. But the first thing, actually, I want, actually, when I leave here, I'm going to go to the market so I can have some black pudding, because I love me some black pudding. Oh my God, yes. And my saltfish and fig, and then I have to have my guava tart set from Pearls. So I have my list. I want to have some crab backs. I don't know if they're in season. But
man,
Uncle Hugo
list of the
Astafan,
delicacies.
Uncle Hugo, I'm coming up to your house to have some crab backs. I know he has some in his freezer somewhere. I'm coming to raid.
So no special diet for you, but you drink a lot of water.
I drink a lot of water. Usually when I have to sing, no dairy at all. No dairy. And I usually like to not eat a lot of roughage, like lettuce, carrots, a lot of salads. Just because I like to feel buoyant before I sing. Not anything heavy, so I usually eat after, or not even after, maybe the next day, because I really like to keep that feeling of buoyancy in my body, not to feel heavy.
Nigel, let's connect with people on the book as well, and on the tube too, Nigel? Because I got a message last week, and someone was saying that we need to check them more as well. I mean, we want to hear the story of our guests, but it's always good when you have a lot of people on, and giving comments as well. We may just get a question or two from this.
Giving comments and sharing.
Yeah, Clever Joseph,
the,
good morning to you. Clever is watching, so good morning to you, Clever Joseph. Yes, Iola George is on as well, and one of those days we have to have Iola as a guest.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course, and her mom as well.
Yes.
Jacinta is working on something big, so we'll have her as a guest as well. Yes, but Iola is very well, we're very well versed when it comes to what she's involved in, so that's good. Nigel, anything you're seeing, anything special you're seeing? I thought of...
Well, I was trying to make sure I go to the tube, because they always say we forget them on
we keep forgetting YouTube, and we always go to the... Yes.
Of course, Irvin Dura is listening in. And
hi, Irvin. He's my cousin.
So proud of you.
Oh, your cousin. Okay.
Nice. Auntie V from Auntie V.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yes,
if you guys want some breadfruit, my cousin Vi's farm in Atkinson, oh my God, it's like butter. Not butter.
Nice.
That breadfruit just melts in your mouth.
Okay, interesting. Nigel, what again do you
and this person here is saying the daughter of the rich fertile soil.
Yes.
Not sure. Let's see if we have any more of those things. Why YouTube do that to me now?
It went off, what, Nigel?
Yes, YouTube do a kind of okay. Since when they want me to sign into chat? I don't understand that.
But that's okay. That's okay. We have a lot of
yes, it's okay. But lots of comments which I'll go back to on the tube. And then, of course, on the book, which we always have, one of the things we always tell our guests to Marie-Claire is that, when the program is done and you have some little free time, go back and look and see all the wonderful comments that are being said and suggestions and ideas,
Yes.
Somebody says they're looking forward to that Christmas song. You see, right away they put you under pressure, right?
Pressure.
Well, let me ask you a question, Marie-Claire.
Yes.
If you were to give advice in terms of the school structure, the system we have here, and theater and the arts, what would you say to the schools? I mean, we have arts, we have theater at schools. You know, it's happening. It's more now than a few years ago. You know, so a lot of young people are showcasing what they have. We have the schools arts festival as well, and there you see a lot of talent coming from the schools.
Yes.
What is your advice?
I would
terms-
say that the arts is fundamental. I think it's fundamental. I think it's essential. I think every school should have an arts program for kids. Music, theater, poetry, writing. Kids have so much boundless energy, and a lot of that is not channeled. And when it's not channeled into something positive, it can lead to being diverted to wrong influences. So I think funding is super important for the arts and with our young. Our children, you know, not to quote a song, our children are our future. They are our investment. Instead of investing in a house, invest in your child. You know, invest in your child. Find out what your child wants to do, whether it's sports, activities after school. Keep them always occupied, because there's so many things in this world. And sometimes, you know, kids have this energy, but they don't even know what they want to do. So try them out. Say, let's try basketball this week, or dancing this week, and find out what they want to do. Because if they find something that they love, they will pursue it and go after it. And it might take several attempts to find out something that they like, but don't give up, because our children are everything.
Have you read about Cassim Birmingham, what he did recently?
No.
Dominican Cassim Birmingham, Nigel, just tell her, Nigel. We had him as a guest, by the way, just
Oh,
recently.
yes. We had Cassim, of course. Cassim just got what is called the gold buzzer at the Canada Got Talent, which is very similar to, of course, here in the US, where we have like the American Idols and so on. It's a similar competition like that.
Okay.
And he got the golden buzzer and was going straight through to the semifinals.
Who is this? What is his name?
Cassim
Okay.
Birmingham.
Cassim Birmingham. Yes.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So out there in Canada doing great things.
Yes.
And then a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we had
the
Dwayne
son of
Murphy,
Vanessa, yes.
who is also from who is also Dominican, lives in Canada. Major actor right now. You know, he's doing quite a bit of stuff with some big actors out there and pursuing his acting dream, and
It's fantastic.
doing very well.
Yes.
You know, so we always like to make sure we can continue to, as we say, big up our Dominicans who are doing pretty well out there, especially in the field of the arts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because
Which, as you mentioned, is not something that most parents want you to pursue.
but the arts, even though the kid does not, the children do not pursue it as their vocation, it can only benefit them as adults. It can only benefit them and enrich their life and enrich the community, because it builds discipline. It just builds discipline when you have something that you have to practice day in and day out, and it's beautiful, and it creates beauty in the world. Who doesn't want more beauty in this world? We need it, and the art
Certainly
gives it.
do. Oh yes, and the arts do that for you. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
And I'm going to have a
What
great
would you
band.
say?
I'm going to have a great
Say that again?
band. I'm going to have a great band on May 4th.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm listen. I'm just visualizing and what's going to be happening down there at the Cabrit. Have you been rehearsing with them already? And,
I just arrived.
got on island. So
I just arrived on island. So UC and Koba are here, who are just incredible. UC horns and drums, Koba on bass, incredible musicians and wonderful people as well. This is another thing that's very important. It's one thing to have talent and to be exceptional in what you do, but it's also what goes hand in hand with that is being a good person and being kind.
oh yes.
It's super important. And Kobe and UC, we've been interacting on and WhatsApp, and with my hectic schedule in New York, they've been incredibly patient with me in my interactions with them and what I've had to send to them. So I look forward to working with them, and I know it's going to be a great show. I'm going to have Daniel Danton on drums, coming from Martinique, as well as my co-music director Ana Flavia, who's coming from New York, and Trinino, who's going to be playing trumpet, coming from New York as well. So it's going to be just a wonderful experience.
Man, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the vibes. American Airlines, I'm coming to you. I can feel the vibes.
Yes, well, see you
Yeah.
next week.
Yes, yes, because I'm feeling the vibes. I'm
Yeah, you
feeling the
can book a
vibes there.
flight, man, Nigel.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So yes, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Just
Now,
hop
in
on and
terms
come.
of, I mean, say that.
Yeah, just hop on a plane and yeah, come check your
Yeah,
scene,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
And go
Definitely.
back.
Just come for the weekend, man. Just come for the weekend and see what happens. Because I think that particular festival, the Jazz and Creole Festival, is growing by leaps and bounds, and
Yeah.
having it done at the Cabrits is even more spectacular than anything else.
Yes.
So, looking forward to that great weekend. My clear advice to, especially not just young artists, but young female artists. What would you tell them?
I would say never give up. One, don't skip any steps. Do the work, do the work, do the work. Keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Even if you're moving forward by a millimeter, you're moving forward. If you make a mistake, it's not a failure. We grow from mistakes, learn from it, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going.
Yes.
Good advice.
Yes.
You'll find the people. You will find the people that you need to help you succeed. But just keep going.
I love
Nigel,
that. I
I
love
could
that.
do with
And-
another
and you
song
might-
now. Seriously, I could do with another song.
One more song before I go. Let's see
Yes.
what I'm gonna do. Let's see what I'm gonna do. I'll sing "I Got Rhythm" from George Gershwin, and I'll sing the whole thing. Okay, is that all right?
All right, of course.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So this is the verse. The verse is usually a lot of jazz standards. They have verses, which is basically the intro to the song. And sometimes the verse sets up the song, and sometimes the verses are even more incredible than the song. No, actually, I'm going to do "Night and Day" by Cole Porter. No, I'm going to go back to "I Got Rhythm." Sorry. Days may be sunny with never a sigh. Don't want what money can buy. Birds in the trees sing their favorite song. Why shouldn't we sing along? I'm happy all the day, happy with my lot. How did I get that way? Look at what I've got. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who could ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my man who could ask for anything more. Old man Trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him hanging around my door. I've got moonbeams, I've got sweet dreams. I got my man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more.
Nigel, Nigel, I'm looking at the comments as well. A lot of comments here. Winnie Green is saying Uncle Hugo will definitely have crabacks.
Yes.
So
I come in.
okay, so. I'm also
I like that
Nigel.
switch.
There's also wow. It's almost it's that time for us to end. But let me just say quickly though, Nigel, in terms of a comment from Mina Archibald. I think that's Mina Archibald.
Yes,
And she's saying,
yes,
Augustine, it's hard to remain. What she's saying, it's hard to remain in the arts in Dominica, where people are still into pushing their kids for big professions. The few who go into music are not respected and are not paid for their work. My children are all into music and music production. Unless you get out of here, like the opportunity that MC or even Kasim, you don't go far. Our education system does not support the arts and sports, etc.
That has to change.
That's what you're saying.
That has to change.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
it
more support should be
definitely has to.
given.
And I
I
think
think some support is given. I
And-
wouldn't
and-
say it does not support.
Yeah, and I mean,
altogether.
and more we continue to see people like like Marie Claire, Kasim, and the
Yeah,
others
yeah.
doing what they're doing up
That's
there,
it,
like
Nigel.
Dwayne and the others.
That's it.
We can begin to recognize. I mean,
Yes.
we've gone through a lot in terms of those of us who were involved in the arts back then and what we had to endure.
Yes.
And we have to begin to have, give bigger respect, more respect to the people like Marie Claire, Michael,
It takes work,
Michael,
The amount that it takes to be an artist, it's like going to medical school. It's like going to law school. And the thing about an artist is that you never stop learning. You never
Yeah.
stop learning and growing. So it's a continuous, you're continuously learning throughout your life. You know, so it shouldn't be anything less than. It's incredible. And we should be upheld and honored and it's something very good that we're doing for the whole community.
Yeah, I think we have to
Yeah.
honor our artists
Yes.
more, you know, uphold them, as she said. Ophelia should be on a pedestal.
Ophelia is
pedestal for
just,
us, yeah.
and you know what? Not only is Ophelia's a great artist, but she's also a great mentor and a great, like for instance, when I was last here, Ophelia, you know, we had lunch at Fort Young. She said, you know, we need to get you an interview while you're here, you know, and she organized an interview with me with the Sun. With Charles James, which I'm incredibly grateful for. So she's a wonderful person, not only a great artist, which she is, an incredible inspiration, but she's a treasure.
So yes, Nigel, we have to respect our artists more.
Yes,
and maybe
yes.
that will propel us to, you know, do more.
And it's what you
with the
said
arts
too in
and
terms
concern.
of being a good person. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So
Yeah.
we need to continue
Yeah,
to
man.
celebrate our arts
Ophelia,
and our
Gordon
artists.
Henderson, we have
And
so,
Gordon
we have so
Henderson.
much
on this
talent.
journey.
We have
you
so
know?
much talent.
Yeah, you have
so
a
much
lot.
talent.
Yeah, man. By the way, Gordon Henderson will be starting a series with Leroy Waddix Charles, Ambassador Waddix Charles, you know, to talk about music and calypso and cadence, you know, and all this
Oh,
as well,
lovely.
all the genres as well. So that's good. Nigel, look at the time already. I could sit here for the 2 hours
Yes.
just comfortably
Time
relaxed.
again.
And
That time again. We could.
My
Yes,
goodness.
that time again. But
we have
definitely
so much
I mean,
talent.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. Your father enjoyed what you did whilst he was alive?
Yes, he did very much. Very
That's
much.
good.
Yes, he did.
Nigel,
Thank
do
you,
we
guys.
end? Should we end, Nigel?
no, we should just keep going, man. Just keep going till May 4th. But Mary, I know this is connecting the dots. This is where we try to connect to our people
Yes.
and give them that platform. Just overall impressions about this particular program as we. What are your thoughts on this Connecting the Dots program that we have?
I think it's a great program. This has been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. As an artist, you know, we always need platforms where we can spread our word and what we want to do. So I really appreciate the time that you have given me to talk to the people and tell them what I do and what I love. And I hope everybody comes out next week, Sunday, May 4th, to the Cabritz for Dominica Jazz and Creole and to enjoy and hear what I do. It's going to be lovely.
And
See
how
you
can
guys
they
there.
follow you? How can they get your
Oh,
music?
yes. Instagram at Marie Claire Plus, and my website is www.marieclairgiraud.com.
Okay.
All right, so go out there and get the support.
Yes.
It was a pleasure connecting with you. I appreciate the connection. Thanks for remaining Dominican.
To the
And
bone.
thanks for letting the world know where you're from and what you're doing and
Yeah.
what you represent.
Every
Continued
time.
blessings on everything that you continue to do, man.
Every
All the
time.
best.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Oh, yes,
Bye
surely
bye.
it was a pleasure. Surely it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
I have a feeling we'll talk to you again some other time on that
Yes.
program. There's a lot that we still have to cover.
Okay.
A lot more songs that we want you to sing, you know.
Yes.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
Nigel.
Bye
All
bye.
right, all the best. Nigel,
Okay.
you take care. We'll do it again next week, God willing, Nigel.
Yes, we'll do it again next week, my dear.
If we
All
don't
the
have a
best.
guest. All right.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right then. Marie Claire Giraud, our guests on Connecting the Dots. Asu Radio DB.